Welcome to today's edition of Toggle's Daily Video Insights. Today we're going to take a look at Netgear, a company that many of you will be familiar with, especially if you know a thing or two about networking business. For anybody who's joining us for the first time, we do these insights every morning, and so subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get a steady diet of them. And if you would like, you can also test drive the system that we are using, Toggle Copilot, which you can do by going to toggle.global and registering there. It's free to use. So the focus today is going to be, as I mentioned, on Netgear, and what we're going to take a look at here in the asset overview, which hopefully you have noticed we've given it quite a bit of a facelift so that all of the insights and the remaining targets are now displayed below here, so you can see what's currently active and what isn't. But what we're seeing here is that after a couple of correct bearish pressures that Toggle was highlighting, driven in part by technical analysis, we actually now have a new bullish price pressure emerging, again from a technical, that's highlighting that this time it's actually driven by MACD and suggesting there could be up to 20% rise in Netgear price over the next 6 months. So clicking on this down here takes us directly into the insight, and as you can see here, this is the 12-week, 26-week MACD, which has reached a recent high of 1227, and historically this has actually turned out to be quite a positive sign for the stock price. Toggle was able to analyze 10 similar occasions when this has happened, and what you're seeing here, again with the starting price of 38.24, the median projection according to these 10 episodes that the model had trained on suggests that you could reach somewhere around 49.89, or of course, if you were to drop out of this confidence interval and below the 32.42 line, this is again the point where you need to reevaluate the thesis and potentially place the stop loss level. Now, typically what we always do is take a look at why it might move. This highlights when previously this kind of configuration of MACD has actually happened, so that you can also visually assess whether or not this was a good period of a bounce. And you can actually see, in some cases you need to squint a little bit, but you can see that it does in fact coincide with generally positive to flat periods for Netgear. So it suggests a certain level of risk reward that could be quite compelling, because the downside here might be limited, but the upside could be potentially quite significant. The way to test this and see it more clearly, we go here to the backtest portion where the system has actually already run the analysis for us, and it shows that whenever MACD has been in this configuration, the expected return curve is substantially shifted here to the right, so the probability of positive returns is meaningfully higher than the baseline curve here. And similarly, the actual past returns, which are displayed here, are substantially higher, in fact in some cases reaching as far as 40%, versus the downside, which seems to be really quite low. Now this is the P&L accumulated if you had traded on all of those past insights and only those, and you can see that actually in reality it does end up being quite choppy. So again, you need to take the stop loss level quite seriously. So much about Netgear today. In the daily brief, we also discussed some reasons behind what happened yesterday in terms of the price action. So if you have a subscription to our daily brief, you should already be in your inboxes. If you don't, sign up please on toggle.global. It's free to receive, and you will get every morning some fresh market relevant content. Thanks for your attention, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.